Hello, welcome back to looking at present values and future values, and then we're also going to look at a series of deposits or payments today. So we've already looked at the future value of a present sum. Today we want to look at a present value of a future sum. What's the value today of some sum we're going to receive in the future? And then we're also going to look at a series of deposits. So for the first case here, we have the present value of a future sum. So we have an amount of $5,000 3 years from today and an interest rate of 5%. So in other words, how much do we need to put in today to have $5,000 in 3 years, at the end of 3 years, and at an interest rate of 5% and is equal to 3 years. So in other words, we need to discount this $5,000 to the value today. Okay, so when we're discounting, we're dividing, and I have an interest rate of 5%. I'm going to do this on the calculator in a minute to the third power. Okay, so to do this, of course, we have to calculate what we have here for. So we have an interest rate of 5%. I'm adding 1 to that because I'm going to cube that and then divide that. So I have 1.05. Okay, and then I have y to the x is 3. And so that gives me a number of 1.157625. Okay, I'm just going to store this in a memory. So store in 0. And when I recall that, hopefully it comes back. So I have 5,000. Going to divide that by what I just stored in the memory here. Okay, so I recall 0. And so I get an answer of $4,319. And what do we get? 19 cents if I round it. Okay, so in other words, at the time 0 today, I have to deposit $4,319.19. And if this grows, as we have here, at 5% for the next 3 years, at the end of that 3 years, I'll have my $5,000. Let's do it on the calculator, just to go through the steps with the time value of money. So first step, let's clear everything. So second, clear our time value of money. That's always our first step when we're doing these. So we have a future value of $5,000. So that's the value in the future, and that is 3 years from now. So 3 is n. There's my n, and I have an interest rate of 5%. So I'm just going to enter the 5 in there, and that'll be my interest rate. That's my IY. And now I can hit compute and my present value, and I get my $4,319.19. Okay, so there's our answer with the calculator using our time value keys, and the formula works like this. Okay, so let's look at another problem here with some deposits. So we'll do another timeline. So we're going to look at the future value of a series of deposits. So for the next 3 years, I'm going to put this much in, or 3 to 4 years, I'm going to set aside this amount of money. How much money am I going to have in the future if I do that at the end of each of these periods? All right, so let's have a look at this problem. So we have a future value of a series of deposits. Oops, I'm trying to get that a little. So there's a timeline again. So I'm going to start today. I've got year 1, year 2, year 3. Let's go out for. All right, so we're going to go out 4 years. We're going to deposit $500. So at the end of the first year, 500. At the end of the second, 500. And third, 500. And fourth, we're going to deposit $500. Okay. So there is the formula you have you can use that. It's a little more cumbersome than a straight present value, future value formula, but the formula does work. I'd suggest that you can try it, but we'll use our calculator here. And so we're going to look at these as outflows. So I'm going to save this much. Okay. And interest rate is 5%, and I have 4 years. Okay, so I'm going to enter this in my calculator. So I'm going to clear what I have in here from before. So second, clear my work. Just clear that number. And now I'm going to look at this. I've got 4 years. So I have N is 4 periods. I have an interest rate of 5%. So I'm going to enter 5% as my IY. Okay, now I have a payment amount of 500. I'm going to enter that as an outflow. I'm saving that money, so I'm going to enter a negative in front of there. Okay, so that's my payment. If I clear everything, there should be a 0 in for present value. If you want to hit 0 in present value, you can. And now I'm ready to compute, so I'm going to hit compute and my future value. And I get a future value of 2155.06. Okay, so that's how much money I would have at the end of those 4 years if I started saving 1 year from today, 500, and then 500 at the end of the next 4 years. All right, let's look at our next example. So here we're going to look at the present value of a series of deposits. Okay, so what's all this worth today? And we'll go out to 4 years again. All right, so let's look at this and see what that's worth today. So in this case, again, a series of deposits, but what's that going to be worth today? Okay, so we have a present value of a series of deposits. So in other words, how much would I have to put away today to be able to take out this money for at the end of the next year for the coming 4 years, right? So think of it this way: how much do I need to save today to be able to do that? Up here we were looking at, I'm saving 500 today. Here I'm going to take out 500. I want 500. Okay. And so how much do I need to put away today to be able to do that? So again, I'm going to use my same interest rate of 5%, n is equal to 4 years. So I'm going to find the present value of this. And because we have some of that information in here, we can, but I'm going to just clear everything and let's just start from a fresh slate. All right, so now I'm going to receive in the future 500, so I'm going to put that as my payment. So I'm receiving that. How much do I have to put away today to do that? So I have n is equal to 4 years again. I get 4 annual periods. And I have an interest rate of 5%. My IY is 5%. All right, so now that I've entered that, I can compute. This time I'm going to hit my present value, and I get 72.98 if I round up. All right, so By contributing this amount today, and you'll notice it comes back with a negative number in front because I left a positive sign on the payment. So you'll see that by contributing, or so right today, I'm going to set aside $1772.98 in my account. I'm going to take out at the full amount of $500 for the next 4 years. At the end of all this, I won't have any money left in the account, but I will have taken out my $500. All right, so that's the present value of a series of deposits. Okay, and up here we had the future value. Here we're saving $500 to come up with the future sum. Here we put some money aside today, and we were taking out that $500 at the end of the next year. So we had to save $1772.98 today to be able to take that $500 out. Up here we saved $500, and at the end of those 4 years we had $2155.06. All right, so there's our covering off the rest of our basic time value series of deposits for both future value, present value, and then we also wrapped up the present value of a future sum. All right, so I hope this was helpful, and there'll be more videos to come. Bye for now.